So not only is it the end of January, but it is also an anniversary, a birthday if you like. We have been doing book club over at Les Reveur for a whole year, so happy birthday book club. It's a whole year old. We'll be doing another year of book club. We have decided this year that we are going to do themes. So this year there will be a theme for each month that's relevant to the month or relevant to an event that happens in the month. And for those months that we couldn't find anything, we made a decision as team Les Rev, and we put in some categories that we thought would be good. What we thought with this was that it would add a bit of diversity and variety to the books that we would be reading for book club, and it expands everyone's horizons because it gives you a chance to join us to read something new and give a new genre or trope or something a try. So we're hoping you'll join us for that, for book club for another year. All of you that have joined us for book club this year, I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I really hope that, like me, you've had a great time reading, getting involved in the discussions at the end of the month, learning about new authors, reading new stories that you never thought you'd read. I really hope you've had a great experience of it. And so we'd love to hear your thoughts on book club. We're always welcoming your suggestions and everything, so we'd really love to hear from you. Comment below about book club if you're on YouTube or my blog post or Facebook, wherever. Drop us a comment, let us know what you think of it, or head over to Les Reveur's lesbian fiction group and get involved in the discussion there. I will pop a link in the description for you, so that you can go and join the group. So like I say, book club, we'll be doing it again for 2020 to 2021 because we run February to January for book club. Everyone is welcome to join us. Please do come and join us. And February, because it's Valentine's Day, I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day, but so many of you are, that we're going to do romance. So we've got your romance suggestions in, and we hope that you will find something great and new and exciting to read for February book club. There'll be a poll. You can vote on that on the Les Reveur book club page, and we welcome any of your suggestions anytime. So get in touch over there, drop your suggestions to the admins, and we will add them to the poll. But like I say, we are celebrating here a whole year of book club, and I can't believe we've had a year of it already. Now I'm really unprepared. I should have prepared better. So book club, we have done 12 months, like I say, and we have had some brilliant suggestions. So for me, out of all the books we read, I think, just looking now at my little list, only 2 of them were rereads. So 2 of them for me were a reread that I'd already read before, and then I was reading them again for book club. And so I've never had time to read a book for the second time, so it was really quite a nice experience to be able to read a book again and see it again and have the same feelings, learn different things about it. That was really exciting. But we all kicked off in February. Rach over at Les Reveur, Rach is amazing. She does so much for the community. She does so much for reviewing. She has a fantastic website, a fantastic page, a fantastic group. She really is a brilliant reviewer, and she's put together a great review team, a great review schedule, and she does all these brilliant Q&As and bits and pieces. So last February she decided on top of that she wanted to run an online book club, and I must say I'm really grateful to her. It has been great and it's been really fun. I've loved being a part of it. I've loved being involved in helping set it up, and I've loved seeing all your discussion and suggestions for books. So a big thank you to all of you as well, because you've joined in, you've got behind it, you've supported it, and you have brought books to the vote that are books I have never read, and I was really excited to read them. So you have brought new authors to me and everything, and it's been amazing. What I decided to do when we were doing book club, because you can read the book any format you like, so you can join us paperback, ebook or audiobook, however the book is available, you can join any way you want to with it. But I'm a paperback girl. I love a paperback. So I decided that if we were going to run book club, I was going to buy the paperbacks that we were going to read. So every paperback that all 12 books, I have bought a copy of. So I thought it would be quite nice. I've done introduction videos for all of them during book club, but I thought it'd be really nice if I showed them off to you in just a recap video, I guess. So I'm really sorry because this video is probably going to go on for a really long time, but I just thought I'd recap our year for book club and everything that we read. So we kicked off in February, like I say, and we kicked off because Rach wanted to get it started. She picked, between her and I, we picked the first book, and she picked it because she has so much more knowledge than me of all the greats in the lesbic category. And so she picked And Playing the Role of Herself by K.E. Lane, who I'd never heard of. I'd never heard of this book. I knew nothing about it. And she said to me, oh my God, Carol, you are going to love it. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong at all. So in February, we read And Playing the Role of Herself by K.E. Lane. This is an amazing book, and if you haven't read it, you really, really need to. So that was February. And we had a great time. We had a great discussion about it, and it was brilliant to see everybody's reactions to And Playing the Role of Herself. Then we got to March, and we had a vote. And the winner of that vote for March's book club was The Brutal Truth by Lee Winter. I had bought this book. I had had it for like a year. As soon as they said we were going to be reading this, I was jumping for joy. Amazing. Couldn't wait to read it. Hadn't read it yet. Fell in love. Absolutely adored this book. Again, if you haven't read it, you are missing out on a treat. This book is so awesome. I'm so obsessed with it. And I really want to read it again at some point when I have some time. But this was awesome. So Lee Winter was joining us in March, and we had a discussion, and we read The Brutal Truth by Lee Winter, and it was brilliant and it was fantastic, and I had like the best reading month ever. Then in April we had another newbie to me, because I'd read a Lee Winter before, so I was just excited to read more Lee Winter when we were in March. But then we got to April and we read a book by an author who I had purchased one of her other books, and I still haven't read it, and I will. But we read Built to Last by Aurora Ray. So this was my first experience of Aurora Ray. Oh my God, it was so good. It was amazing. I loved this book so much. And I was really, really excited to read something by Aurora Ray because I hear nothing but good things about her stories, and it was so good. Then we moved on to May, and again we were back in new territory with another author that was completely new to me, had never read anything, and we read Heart Block by Melissa Brayden. So again, this was a new author for me. I had a fantastic time experiencing Melissa Brayden, and now I understand what all the fuss is about. She really is very talented, and this is a lovely, lovely read. Then we got to June, and we did it all over again, and again we had a suggestion for a book that for me was an author that I'd never read before, and I had my first experience of Erin, and we read Breaking Down Her Walls. And again, Rach was like, you are going to love this, you are going to absolutely love this, and she wasn't wrong. So Rach knows you. If Rach knows you and she knows what you like and she tells you that you're going to love a book, I can guarantee you're going to love it. This book was amazing. Loved it, every second of it. It was such a cute story. Then we got to July, and I usually do put a suggestion in for book club if I have one, but I tend to leave it to you guys because I love to see what you come up with. You know so many authors that I don't know. But we got to July, and Rach asked me, do you have anything you want to add to the poll? And I'd heard so much about this book. I wanted to add it in because I heard it was really popular and I really wanted to read it. And it won. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when you guys chose this. And we read the much controversial After Mrs. Hamilton by Clare Ashton, and this book, what a read. Oh my God, I'm so glad we did this one for book club. It was amazing. And then the discussion that followed it, even more amazing. This was brilliant. So if you haven't read After Mrs. Hamilton by Clare Ashton, I recommend it. But it is very controversial, so you've got to be really open-minded, but it was so good, and you should read it anyway because it was good. Then we got to August, and we had another poll, and we had our first author to be our book club author second turn at book club, and we read The Red Files by Lee Winter. Now this was a reread for me because I had already read The Red Files, and as soon as this got picked I was like, yes, I love The Red Files. Oh, I just love these two. I love them so much. The Red Files is an awesome book. If you haven't read it yet, you really, really should. It is so, so, so good. And it's a series, so there's more than one. So that's always a bonus if there's more than one. Then we got to, where are we? September. See, the year was just disappearing. And we read another book that I'd already read before. So I'd already read and reviewed Meant to Be Me when it was released earlier in the year by Wendy Hudson. And then we read it again for book club. This again is such an awesome book. I love the subject and the context of this story. It's amazing. And if you haven't read it, like, oh gosh, you so want to. So good. Like, I can't tell you how much I love this book. It is so amazing. It's the only Wendy Hudson book I've read so far, and she has sent me other things to read, and I just haven't had time yet. I adore this. It's so good. It's definitely one of my all-time favourite books, like, just because of its content, but because it's so amazing. So I really loved that. Then we had October, and October last year was Indie Author Month. So we decided that, well, we had Indie Author Day, should I say. So we decided to make it Indie Author Month, and we said that your votes on the poll could only be for independent authors. So you gave us a fantastic list of independent authors and books that you wanted to read, and the winner of that was Lise Gold, and we read her latest release, which is Living. And again, this book has some really sensitive subjects in it, but it was so beautiful. It was such a lovely book, and I really enjoyed every minute of reading this. It was amazing. It was just such an experience to read it. And so for Indie Author Month, this was our choice, and it was so good. Then we got to November, and for November we read a book again that I had really been excited about reading, and it was a new release for Emma Radley. And again, it was a book that was probably a little bit controversial for some people in terms of its subject matter, but I felt that it was a book that was really important and that we all needed to read. So in November we read Pining and Loving by Emma Radley, which has, since I bought this one, because this is a paperback, it's had a little cover update. But I really love this cover, so I think this cover is beautiful. But the new cover is just equally as beautiful, but I still like this one. And we read this book, and it was such an emotional read. I had such a great time reading this. This was lovely as well, and it was a great book to have on book club again, because it had some fantastic discussion when we got to the end of the month. Then we got into December, and the choice for December was The Do-Over by Georgia Beers. Again, this for me, Georgia Beers was a new author. I had never read anything by Georgia Beers before, I think earlier this year, and I'd only read the one. So for me, Georgia Beers is quite a new author, and we're reading The Do-Over, and I'm just like, oh god, her books are amazing. I love them. I think I'd only read one before. I'd read I'd read one before, a little bit, like a few months before. I'd just read one. I think it was Fear of Falling, and then we did this for book club. So I was excited, but Georgia Beers is still quite a new author to me, and I found this amazing. This book had a lot of personal, relatable things in for me, and I thought it was really good, and I really enjoyed the story. And again, we had a bit of discussion. It was over Christmas, so it was a little bit quieter than normal, but it was really good. And then lastly, we've got to January. It's our last month of our first year of book club, which is why we're having a little bit of a celebration now. And we were back with Melissa Brayden, who has had her second entry in for book club this in this round this year, and we're reading Beautiful Dreamer by Melissa Brayden, which we've just finished, and we're ready now to start 2020 to 2021 book club. Scary to say 2021 at the beginning of 2020, I can't tell you. But anyway, book club has been totally amazing, as you can see. So for me, I have had new authors that I've never read before, or authors who are still fairly new to me because I haven't read a lot of their stuff. And it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. So like I say, all of you that have joined us every month, I don't know if all of you have joined us every month, but if you have, I really hope you've enjoyed 12 new stories, 12 new books, 12 new authors. If you haven't joined us every month, that's fine. You can dip in and out of book club whenever you like. Everyone's welcome to join us. Like I said, I'll pop the link in this video. There'll be a link to all of these books as well, so that you can go and grab copies of them, because they really are absolutely amazing books, and the authors write beautiful stories. I have adored every one of them. I don't think there's been a single one I've complained about. I've loved them all like so much. They're now like favourite reads. They really were so good. And I'm really looking forward to another 12 months of you guys giving me new authors who I've never ever read before or never come across, and brilliant new stories and everything. I can't wait. it's amazing what you all know. Like, I still feel like quite a newbie. There's still people I'm discovering, and you all bring such amazing stories to the table to be read. Sometimes I read down the voting poll and I think, I've never heard of these, like, how do you know about them? And I'm amazed, and then I read them and I'm amazed, and it's brilliant. But hopefully with the categories for 2020, 2021, it's going to give a bit more variety into book clubs. So if you thought, oh, they're all romances, or oh, I don't want to join in with those ones, hopefully this will give you an opportunity, even if there's just 1 month where you get to join in because you like sci-fi, or you only want to read indie author month or whatever. I really hope they'll give you some incentive to join us, and I will pop the schedule into the post so that you can see that, and I'll try and pop it at the end of this video actually, so that you can see that as well here. But it will be up on the page, and over on Les Reveur lesbian fiction group we will be putting regular posts to remind you what we're reading for the month, when the chats are at the end of the month, and what the subject is for the next month, so that you can get your votes in. Like I say, you can comment directly on the posts and we'll pick it up, or you can get in touch with one of us as admin, or you can email and we'll make sure everything gets added to the voting poll. Or if you've got a suggestion when the voting poll goes up, let us know and we'll get it added. But yeah, the book club's for you, and I really hope you enjoy it. I really hope you get something out of it. I hope you love the discussions. I hope you love it as much as we do. We think it's an absolutely brilliant thing to be doing online. Gets us all talking about the books more as well, because something that's really important is that we all talk about these books. The best marketing we can give a book is to say how much we loved it, review it. And so all this extra exposure in having a book club and talking about the books, and you know what the best thing is? Even the authors come and join in. They really do. They're really friendly, they get stuck in, they'll come and talk to you about the books. So it's also a great opportunity for you to have a chat, like when we do the Q&As as well. And so I really hope you've enjoyed book club. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. You can tell I just love all these books so much. They're like my little babies. They're amazing, and I loved sharing the experience with you. I've loved having a chat with you at the end of the month about each book, and I've loved seeing your suggestions. So I look forward to your suggestions for February for romance. I look forward to your suggestions for the rest of the year for the other categories. And again, just because I'm reviewing the year, if you have suggestions, I know this sounds forever away, but if you have suggestions for 2021 book club for a month that you'd like us to include, again, get in touch and we will try and accommodate it, because it would be really cool to have some of your suggestions, and we're just trying to keep it as fresh and exciting as possible. But thank you for joining us for book club. Big thank you to Rach for organising book club, running it, hosting everything. She's done a great job with it, keeping us all updated, little posts, little graphics, everything she's done. She works really hard, and I really appreciate everything she puts into it, into bringing us these extracurricular activities around our reading. And I really hope you'll continue to support us with book club. Come and join us for February, and yeah, I hope you enjoy book club for another year. Bye.